I find Starbucks very inspiring for people watching. I love going to the bookstore for obviously to read other books, but just also for more people watching. And I don't know, the beach, just because you feel small there, and that's always a good reminder that there's bigger things in the universe.
When I'm reading, when I'm eating cupcakes, and if I'm, outside doing a walk or playing sports.
I find inspiration on Pinterest a lot. I'm a big fan of Pinterest, and so I go there every day and I pin stuff. And I pin foodie stuff, but I also pin a lot of book stuff. Pictures are very inspiring for me. So if I can find a picture that looks kind of like what I imagine a character to be or what I imagine a setting to be, it fires my imagination. So Pinterest is a big thing that I go to for inspiration.
In asking what if, in daydreaming, and in my faith.
Definitely the beach. I love the beach. I love listening to the sound of the waves and how small it makes me feel. I also love going to anywhere that is absolutely quiet. Like I have a house in the woods, and I love watching nature and anything. And then wherever my horse takes me.
I find inspiration in books, in movies I love, and places. So if I go places, whether it's a museum or a city or a country, I find inspiration in places.
I just got back from the catacombs in Paris, and the entire thing was so inspirational, like being down there, like underground, and they had all these like Dante quotes, and especially because I write books about the underworld, I was like, oh, this is so cool.
So the biggest piece of advice that I would give to a reader is, to an aspiring writer, is to read. And read, read, read. Everything you can get your hands on. Read stuff in your genre for sure, absolutely. That is a requirement. But also read stuff outside of your genre and read books about writing and, read articles from Publishers Weekly. Just read everything you can get your hands on, because everything you read will add to your writing. Everything you learn, everything you study, every fairy tale you read, every myth you read will add to what you do. So my number one piece of advice for any aspiring writer is to read.
Don't give up. It's very subjective, so if you love it, don't give up.
Always write. Can I do two pieces? And to allow yourself to write poorly, because you can only make it better.
Never give up. That was told to me, and I truly, honestly believe it.
Never give up. Keep writing no matter what anybody else tells you, because what you're writing is the best, and it will always be the best. You will always get better, not never get better. You will always get better with everything you write, and just keep writing.
My biggest advice for an aspiring author is that great books aren't written, they're revised. So you need to be able to put the work into revising and making your story the best that it could possibly be.
Okay, so one piece of advice for an aspiring author would be what I wish I would have known, which is write all the way to the end. Even if it's terrible, once you have an ending, you can go back and make it better. But if you stop 3 chapters in, all you've got is 3 chapters.
I am a huge Star Wars nerd, so I'll either say Princess Bride or Star Wars, and we dress up like Star Wars characters for Halloween. We go all out. I have full Mandalorian armor, and so anything Star Wars I am drawn to.
The Last of the Mohicans. It's a movie, it's a book, it's wonderful. Read it, see it.
Even though I have my faults with it, my favorite story is still Romeo and Juliet. I just love everything about that book except for the end.
My favorite story, both movie and book, is Pride and Prejudice. My favorite version is the Keira Knightley version, but I'm also partial to Colin Firth, and the book, obviously.
That Thing You Do.
That's a good one.
I love boy bands.
Wow, that's a tough one. I would say Lord of the Rings from Tolkien, just because it was such great world building, and I would love to write like him.
My favorite movie story book, I'm always a big happily ever after fantasy kind of a person, and so I would say my favorite movie is probably The Princess Bride. I love it. It's just so full of crazy, wacky, funny, just cool stuff, and you've got your handsome prince and your princess and evil villain, and it's perfect. Books I like all kinds of books. I think the first book I fell in love with was Gone with the Wind, so I love the romance of it and the sweeping drama and the world that was created there. So those are my favorites.
Absolutely, he looks like my husband.
Prince Charming does exist. He's just hiding amongst the nerds.
What does he look like? Like
Like a nerd.
Sweet.
Tall and deliciously nerdy.
Oh my gosh, my husband would hurt me if I didn't say him. So yes, he does.
So the question, does Prince Charming really exist, is a hard one for me. Yes, because I write Prince Charming, so I think there definitely are Prince Charmings out there, although I think they're very hard to find. And I think there's a lot of princes who are working on being charming, if that makes sense. That's kind of what I think. I mean, I married a prince who was not so charming when we got married, and he's been building up the charm factor. So that's kind of what you have to do with most guys out there, ladies, just FYI.
I think Prince Charming exists, but he's my husband, and so none of you guys can have him. He is taken. And Prince Charming is the guy who will like make you a duct tape dress when you're in high school, and he'll like make you awesome costumes for Halloween. And he like brings you takeout when you're on deadline, and he just like, I don't know, he's awesome.
Yes, I think Prince Charming does exist. I think he is the boy next door. I think he's someone that maybe doesn't look charming on the outside, but you gotta look inside.
Yes, I think so, but I don't think he's anything like what we imagine him to be in the Cinderella story. I think he is someone who puts your needs first and wants you to be the best that you can be.
I believe in love at second glance.
So yes, I absolutely believe in love at first sight. Although I think the level of love grows the longer time you spend together. So, but I think you can meet someone and have an instant connection and know that that's the person for you. Because that's what happened to me. When I met my husband, I saw him and I knew pretty instantly that he was the guy for me. Yeah, so I think, yes, it's definitely possible to have love at first sight, although I think that it's more of a, I'm super interested in you, wow, we need to go out, and I think I might want to marry you at first sight kind of a feeling. But I think the love part actually grows because I love my husband so much more, 20 years later than I did when we got married. So I think connection at first sight for sure, yes.
I believe in interest at first sight. I don't know that you can love someone before you actually really get to know them, but there are people that you just have like instant chemistry with, and so there's like potential at first sight.
Absolutely, I met my husband. It was love at first sight.
No, I believe in lust at first sight. Instant attraction, but I do not believe in love at first sight. I think love takes time.
I do believe in love at first sight. It can happen just like that. More than chemistry, I believe it.
I absolutely do, because it happened to me. I met my husband in one night and we were engaged 6 months later, and we've been married 15 years this year. So yes.